Installing a WLAN antenna and SMA assembly. Note: this task requires a wrench. If necessary, use the wrench that comes in the PMB air baffle. Unfasten the screw that secures the wrench to disengage it from the air baffle. For models with a wireless module, completes the following steps to install SMA assemblies. If the bracket is secured to the SMA assembly, unfasten the screw that secures the bracket and then separate the bracket from the SMA assembly. Fasten the cables to the bracket with the wrench. For the PMB side SMA assembly, fasten the blue cable and the black cable. For the processor side SMA assembly, fasten the grey cable and the white cable. Insert the bracket into the SMA assembly until it is firmly seated, and then secure the bracket with one screw. Important: fully fasten the screw until the SMA connectors are inside the SMA assembly. If the SMA connectors are outside the SMA assembly, the assembly cannot be installed. Make sure the order of the cables is as shown in the following illustrations. For the processor side SMA assembly, for the PMB side SMA assembly. To ensure there is sufficient space for this task, remove the top intrusion switch with cable. Remove the memory modules from DIMM slot 1 and DIMM slot 2. To install the SMA assembly, align the notches of the SMA assembly with the guide pins on the chassis, and then carefully lower the SMA assembly until it is firmly seated. Secure the SMA assembly with one screw. To ensure there is sufficient space for this task, disconnect the fan direction switch cable and the fan cables from the system board. To route the cables, for the PMB side SMA assembly cables, secure the cables into the cable clip on the fan cage, and then route the cables into the cable guide on the side of the chassis. Connect the fan direction switch cable and the fan cables to the system board. To install the processor side SMA assembly, align the notches of the SMA assembly with the guide pins on the chassis, and then carefully lower the SMA assembly until it is firmly seated. Secure the SMA assembly with one screw. Reinstall the following components for the memory modules. Top intrusion switch with cable. To route the cables, for the processor side SMA assembly cables, route the cables into the cable guide on the side of the chassis. Secure the cables into the cable clip near to the wireless adapter. Connect the WLAN cables to the wireless adapter. Press the side of the cable holder on the XCC WLAN and Bluetooth module, and then lift up one end of the cable holder from the wireless adapter. Move the cable holder to the unlocked position. Locate the corresponding connector on the wireless adapter. If applicable, remove the protection cover from the cable. Gently press the cable connector down until it clicks into the connector on the WLAN module. Note: repeat the step to connect all the necessary cables to the wireless adapter. Move the cable holder to the locked position. Secure the cables into the cable clips on the wireless adapter and then route the cables along the corner of the chassis. Install the WLAN antennas. Make sure the SMA connectors are fully extended. If necessary, turn the screw between the two SMA connectors counterclockwise to extend the SMA connectors. If necessary, place a washer between the antenna and the server, and then turn the antenna clockwise until it is firmly secured to the chassis. Reinstall the processor air baffle. Note: make sure to adjust the processor air baffle according to the configuration. To install the riser assembly on the node, connect the power cable to backplane 1 and then connect the other cables from the riser assembly to the node. Align the front of the riser assembly with the edge of the chassis and then lower the riser assembly into the node. To secure the riser assembly to the node, fasten the 3 captive screws on the top of the riser assembly. Fasten the 3 screws at the sides of the node. Fasten the 2 thumb screws at the front of the riser assembly. Reinstall the PNB air baffle. Reinstall the top cover. Use the key to lock the node covers.